Cozy games can quell stress and anxiety? At least that's what an interactive article from Reuters tells us this week. Leah's back on the city builder train with the newly released Foundation, and Kat's trying to stump the team with a round of super Steam reviews. All of this and more on this week's GoGCast. So let's get started.
Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah. I'm the host of this show. This is episode number 481, and I'm really excited to talk to the girls about video games because I really need something else to think about besides what's going on in the world right now. Around this digital table, I'm really happy to see Catherine. Hi, how you doing?
I'm okay. You?
I'm all right. Joelle, what's up?
Send help. I'm blinking twice.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're recording this on Monday. God only knows what the day will be on Thursday when it releases, because we're living this minute by minute right now. It's February already, ladies.
Is this year over?
It's February. I can't get over it. January was a blur. So much happened. Oh my goodness. And yeah.
When do we stop living in unprecedented times?
Apparently never.
Never.
Apparently never. The rest of you should get used to it, man.
All right. Well, at least we got this little bit of reprieve from the chaos to hopefully brighten our day, your day, everything. So let's talk about video games as escapism that it is. I'd like to remind you that if you enjoy this podcast, you can subscribe. We're available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like to get some GOG merch, you can do that by going to designbyhumans.com/shop/girlsongames. Or maybe you'd like to give us a tip, maybe buy us a coffee. You can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. All right. Outside of living in existential dread, what have you ladies been up to this week? Catherine?
Not much. Pascal went to a cottage getaway this weekend. I stayed in with the cat. He came back with COVID. Amazing. Great. Shout out to his vaccine that's actually doing the work. He felt like he's got a cold. Yeah. Like today he slept and now he's like, I'm already feeling better. He's like, I think tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym. Oh. And everybody in the chat from like the cottage weekend, like in the Discord, is all like, yeah, I am on my ass. I tested positive, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, you guys didn't go for your new dose, your new dose in October and November.
Outed.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it didn't work out for them. That too, they're not.
Oh yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to vaccines. I am doing fine so far. Tomorrow is a mandatory in-office day, but my boss was like, we'll give you an exception.
You keep that at home.
Yeah. If I go to work tomorrow, I'll wear a mask. I got a few. They hand them out at work. They hand them out at the clinic when I go. So I always have like one or two hanging around the house still. So I think that's what I'll do tomorrow. If I go to work. So far, so good. I'm not feeling sick.
Did you get your PlayStation?
Yes. Sorry. Yay. Yeah, that is the news. I've ignored it because it's been like so crazy. But yeah, no, I got my PlayStation. Shout out to my friend Rick, whom I funded his PlayStation Pro upgrade. So he sent me the PlayStation and his CD of Final Fantasy 16.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I'm going to get to keep going with all the medieval RPGs. Right up until Ghost of Yote when I changed to Japanese.
Excellent.
But yeah, I just haven't installed it because, he showed up like Sunday afternoon. And now I have to deal with like my front door that the lock partially broke. So it's just like, it's not that bad. We can lock and unlock from inside the house. That's not an issue. The padlock works. It's just the key itself stopped working. So it's just annoying. We have a back door. That door's fine. That lock's working fine. Like it's just annoying when I came home Thursday night and I couldn't get it to unlock. The batteries were dead on the padlock, so it wasn't strong. The batteries were on the route, so it wasn't strong enough to fully unlock. And I was just in the cold, kind of half jams the door sometimes. So we tend to use the key to like, because it's more reliable. I was just like, God damn. So I go out, walk around the block, go the back alley, open the back door, which works fine. Only to realize, like, I know the people downstairs. I could have walked through the apartment instead of like...
it's only your family instead of going the whole way around.
I did.
But when you're that mad, you don't think about these things, right? When you're just like ticked off at something for being an annoyance, and you're just like, oh, now I gotta walk the whole way around, and you're like, oh yeah, my family lives downstairs. I could have just trotted through their living room.
And the door was properly locked. Like, Pascal locked it, and then when I showed up to unlock it, when he locked it, he must have like disconnected something. So now I'm dealing with the company because it has a lifetime warranty, and they're like, do you have the receipt? I'm like, no. Sorry. Like, kind of like when we changed the doors, we bought locks. I forget if my brother bought them himself at Home Depot or Lowe's or Renault Depot or whatever, or if we bought them through the company for the doors. I just have the receipt for the doors somewhere in our files. And the dude on the phone was like, yeah, whatever. I'll send you an email. Just send me some info. So I'm hoping they're able to replace the lock on warranty. If not, I'll have to either buy a new lock or disassemble it and bring it to a locksmith and see if they can fix it. But I'm like, that sounds like it ought to work.
For maybe not any reward.
Yeah,
I can't figure it out.
A new lock is $100.
50 going to a locksmith with the time and the cost of them fiddling with it, you might spend that $100.
I mean, I'll eventually have to go to the locksmith for possibly getting new keys done or something, or there's that. But I'm just, it's just a slight annoyance. And then, so that's on Thursday, and then my boyfriend comes and he's like, have a PlayStation 5. I'm like, hooray! And then he's like, by the way, I am sick, and I'm like, fuck. And yeah, so today was a mix of working, like doing my hours, but over the lunch time, I went to see the locksmith to talk about my lock, and he was the one that was like, just try to see if you can get it under warranty, girl. It's like, it's not that deep. And he was like, he was clearly not needing the work. He was like, it's fine. Like, it's just a shitty lock from Home Depot. Get it fixed under warranty. I was like, okay. So I've been a bit harebrained and all over the place. But yeah, I was able to, I just thanked my past self that for the meal tonight, I had planned just grabbing my Dutch oven, putting a bunch of veggies at the bottom, and then just some chicken on top and cooking it for like an hour to an hour and a half. So after work, I just put that shit in the oven and I went to take a long hot shower, wash my hair, relax, get out of the shower, did my physio exercises for my back and my sciatica because I have a new physiotherapist to keep working on the healing, but also one that can help me with training at the gym. So decided to go back into physiotherapy as my amounts reset in on January 1st with my insurance. So, and I did that, and then I had dinner, and we watched an episode of an anime, and now I'm here with you girls, and I'm just like, and if tomorrow I wake up and shit's not right, I have the go ahead from my boss to work from home.
Good
I'm going to use COVID as the excuse.
Nice.
Which is a good excuse, honestly. Like
you don't want to pass that on.
It's like I could be contagious with COVID. They'll be like, yeah, see you next week.
Yeah. Joelle, how about you? How are things down in the U.S. of A?
I think you know. I think like it's really, we have to pace ourselves, I think is some of the advice that I've seen is just like, you know what? You just have to pace the reaction, because I can only control what I can control, and I can only have influence where I can have influence. So like, that's what I got to do, and that's all I can do. And but it is self-care is like the name of the game, really. And so just buying a lot of shower bombs to try to take some relaxation time in the shower, and like doing things that kind of stick on the routine, as much as I can. But yeah, like just keeping on with the hobbies. I think like I went out with some friends for a lunch over the weekend, and I actually want to learn how to fly fish this spring.
Ooh.
Yes.
So does my husband.
Ooh, yeah. I've wanted to learn how to fly fish for a while, actually. And I thought, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And so there's Orvis is a kind of a well-known fly fishing brand and company. And so there's a standalone store close to where I live, so I went over there and just like asked some basic questions, asked about a basic like kit to get, and then they have beginner classes, somewhat advanced classes for casting and like choosing a rod. They also have fly tying classes too, and to teach how to tie your own flies if you want to and things like that. So I got on like their mailing list, and I've been watching videos and stuff, so trying to kind of figure out like what I want to fish for. And it was so cool though, like holding I've never held a fly fishing rod, and so being able to kind of hold it and try some out was very strange because I'm so used to casting, to the rod and reel type fishing. So
yeah, my dad does it.
Oh yeah?
He does that more than spin cast rods. Now Mike is more of a spin cast, right? He never learned how to fly fish, but he wants to learn. But yeah, I mean, like if you're salmon fishing home, that's usually what they do. And he used to tie flies all the time, but he doesn't do it too much anymore. But yeah, because like cheaper that way, right? And they used to get like the fur and everything because they'd hunt and whatnot, so they could easily tie fly fishes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Flies for fishing. Sorry, fly fishes. That makes no sense. But yeah, it's one of those like super relaxing ones. And like you watch the YouTubers and these are drone footage and it all looks so elegant because they're using it. It's like a whipping experience. They're just whoosh, and it just like goes sailing. And you're just like, I try to do that and it like plop on the floor right in front of me. So yeah.
I've seen fly fishers like around the Laurentians where my mom lives. We were out like hiking and there was like a river and a guy was there with his gear doing the fly fishing. And we were sitting down just looking at a bunch of people fish just because to take a break and then turn around, like have a drink, have a snack. And we got like mesmerized by the fly, the whipping and everything. I was starting to fall asleep. I was like, this is nice. The sound of the water, just looking at this little wishy-washy. It was like hypnotizing. I was just like, I could just lie down here and have a little nap.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, like, the goal is I didn't really want to be reliant on, like, a watercraft to, like, go fishing on. And I just wanted to, like, you can keep all the kit. Well, it's nice because, you don't have live bait. Well, you don't have to have live bait with a rod. But, like, I always like to fish with live bait when I do a reel. Like, rod and traditional, like, rod and
spin
reel.
Cast?
Yeah, spin cast. And so this I kind of like because you can just keep everything in the car. And then, like, if you just feel like it, you just drive somewhere, and then you can get all the stuff out and just like go and fish the rivers and the springs and things like that. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to have a bit more of a different type of experience, and then to fish trout too. So that'll be
I love trout.
And I really like. I think for me the best thing. Like, one of my favorite things ever is when I'm up in the Boundary Waters and we catch, we catch the fish up there, and then, you know, an hour later, we have them frying in a pan, and you're sitting out, like, right by the water, and you're eating fish, and it's so good. It's so good. And so I thought, if I can recreate that scenario for myself more often, I think I would find a bit more peace and zen. And so I thought, well, let's just go ahead and start. So yeah, hopefully I can get the hanging of the casting. Obviously, that will be the biggest learning curve, I think, is trying to figure that out, and then hopefully not get it caught in anything. Yeah. But so I did a little research on that, and did my workouts and things like that to get ready for the week. But yeah, I'm just trying to lots of self-care. I got a pedicure. I signed up for massages, so I have 6 months of massages.
Nice.
So yeah, just trying to get in a routine. You know, wind down for bed by 8:30 every night, and because I start work fairly early, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep on. Like, the more chaotic things are outside, trying to make myself more routine so I can stay on track.
Good for you. Yeah, we had a crazy work week. There was a whole bunch of different events on, but the thing that I got to do, I love running production. It's chaos. It's always super busy and super, super wild, but like, I love working an event, like film production event, be it we're putting off as our event or like we're filming something else. And that's what happened this time. So the band Sum 41, Canadian rock band, legendary, you probably know them from like the song Fat Lip. Their music played in a lot of stuff, movies in the early 90s, like teeny bopper movies and all that kind of stuff we had growing up. And they are retiring, and they played their last 2 shows in Toronto on the 28th and the 30th. And then the town where they're from, Ajax, Ontario, which is like the way that Toronto is, it's like all these cities kind of touch up against each other. So like it's fairly close. Like it took me 30 minutes to drive there. But essentially the town of Ajax wanted to honor the band. 2 different things they wanted to do. One was they wanted to name a street after them, so Sum 41 Way. And then the other thing was give them a key to the city. So they wanted to do an event of this and have like fans from town and stuff in and everything and do like a panel conversation. So they had this organized, and we heard about it and we said, hey, we'd love to document this. So they did end up live streaming the event Friday night on their YouTube channel. But then my team went and we filmed all of it and are putting together like a video documentary of it. And there's an iHeartRadio host, Josie Dye, who did the hosting of the event and asking the questions and stuff until like a council member came up and did the officialness with the key to the city and the street sign and all that jazz. And it was just really cool to do that. But very busy day because it kind of like is just rushy. You get there and you're setting up and then you're hurry up and waiting until everything happens, right? And then you're filming it and then you're tearing it down. And we had to go back to the office downtown Toronto and put everything away in preparation because last night was the Grammys, so watched all of that. And then my team had an early morning. They went and filmed a reaction video about the Grammys. So, you know, and that is very of the moment. So they have to get it done right away. So, yeah, there's just a lot of things going on. But it was an exciting week with all the production and stuff like that. I just didn't expect it to be that chaotic the end of January, when usually January is kind of our slowest month and usually the time for us to kind of get our ducks in a row and figure out what we're doing, all that kind of stuff. But no, we hit the ground running. So, yeah. And then all of the stuff today, you know, just like trying to figure out what's going on in the world and, you know, supporting Canada and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's been a crazy week. So when I had downtime, I played video games. But before we get into that, let's go check on the Fantasy Critic. I'm going to put it out there right now. In the podcast league, there has been no movement, no nothing, no points, no bids. Joelle is still in first. Woohoo! Easy to report. The community league, not so much. Movement there includes points gathered by Pat, known as Father IRR Gamer Inc., as his producer name in the Community League. Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector had a score of 86, so he got 16 points.
Good.
Grumpy Grandpa Games, Phoenix. Sniper Elite Resistance came out 74, a score of 74 points for. Pat again with Father IRR Gamer Inc. Eternal Strands, score of 74. Got 4 points from that. And then Art Vandalay Publishing Inc., also known as Sparkles himself, Darth Serdius. Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. Got a score of 79. That means 9 points. On the bids front, FBC Firebreak was won by Concrete Raven Studios with a bid of $2. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers was also picked up by Concrete Raven Studios with a bid of $3. After Love EP was won by Hammer to War Inc. That's Stainsby Kingsby with a bid of $10. And I Am Jesus Christ was picked up by Hammer to War Inc. Stainsby Kingsby with a bid of $1. Drops. Nobody dropped anything. Let's see.
Not yet.
No drops. So, the standings as they are today. Pat is in first. Simon is in second. Albay is in third. Darth Stridius is in fourth. And Phoenix is in fifth. And everybody else is below and can't really count because nobody else got any points yet. So there we is in the league. Once again, I praise the Discord bot for making my life easier trying to find these numbers.
You should have done that like eons ago.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, well, here we are. You live and you learn, right?
That's right.
I just want to shout out Grand Theft Auto 6 that is still being woefully ignored by the podcast least.
Oh, well, we can't.
We can't.
No, not yet. We gotta wait.
Wait.
Yeah.
We're only
We got to
February.
snipe it in very last minute when there's news.
It's only
Yeah.
it's only February, so yeah.
It's only February.
I'll be saying that in September. It's only September.
It's only September. It's only November. It's only
Yeah,
December.
yeah.
The league's over. It's now 2026.
No one touched it.
All right. Video games. Playing games. Because that's what we do here. We play video games. Catherine, what are you playing?
All right, I'm going to spare everybody. There's going to be no Dragon Age brain rot this week. Because all I can say is that I did get my advanced copy of Avowed.
Woohoo!
So I am playing Avowed. And then now I have the itch to play Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 to get the full story. And I'm just like, no. No. Stay on task. Stay on task. Because for those who didn't know, because I kind of like didn't clue in until like 3 or 4 weeks ago that it was set in the same world as Pillars of Eternity.
I didn't know that. So it's not you. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, but it's just
Oh.
Pillars of Eternity is a CRPG, you know, a la Baldur's Gate. And it was, you know, Obsidian did Neverwinter Nights. And I think BioWare did Baldur's Gate 2. So both these studios kind of like were like, oh, we're not making D&D type games and CRPGs. Like we'll make our own successor. And that's how we got Dragon Age and Pillars of Eternity. And it's just, but Avowed is, as you saw from the trailers, is completely different in terms of gameplay. So I will have a review, spoiler free. I'm not going to talk next week in the next episode.
Cool.
Because the embargo lifts when the episode comes out on February 13th, which is when the early access starts.
Okay. I'm looking forward to playing that. I gotta say. So, excited to hear what you have to say, Kat.
Yes.
Joelle, what are you playing?
I am still shooting up machines with my bow and arrow
Nice.
in Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. And I gotta say, just like props to Guerrilla's writing team. I totally forgot that when you do all these side missions in the kind of beginning section of the game before you like leave the main area and go towards the rest of the map. Before you get the glider, I'm like doing all these quests because it's so much fun. And I forget that a lot of the times when you have to go on fetch quests or rescue missions, and most of the time you're rescuing dudes like who get themselves into trouble, or like the friends that go on quests and get themselves in hot water with all these machines. And then I forgot that once you rescue them or complete the quest, they basically are like, I cannot give you credit for rescuing us because you're an outcast, and I can't let people know that like you helped us. And I just thought like it's just so like on some level, I think maybe I'm just like slightly triggered by the time I live in, but I'm like, this, I forgot like that this is true, and that like you can't give credit where credit is due, and like you're too worried about your own reputation, ego. I just was, and then Aloy's response to that is just priceless. Like she's not gonna take any of that shit, and she's just like, whatever. I don't know. It just was like, I needed this, Aloy. Like I needed your energy of just like, you just the let them theory. You just let them do what they need to do, and like you know your own power and skill. I just was like, I forgot that happened. Oh, it was amazing. So I love this game so much.
Love that. I'm still playing Infinity Nikki on the side, but a game that I've been watching for a bit has finally come out in full 1.0. It's called Foundation. It's a gridless, laid-back medieval city builder game with a focus on organic development, monument construction, and resource management.
Oh.
I'm like 7 hours in, and when I play these games, guys, usually I go in there and I play through the story mode, and I realize that I'm doing things entirely wrong and fuck them up, and like get only like part way through, and then restart a level again. And then do it again and try and learn the mechanics and then restart again. So like I'm on city 3. Because I like when I first do it, and I'm just like watching little characters run around, and then I would give them a task to go and like build the workers bench over there, and then I give them a task to go build the logging cabin, and then I go buck while I'm logging stuff because I'm like, ooh, I need to make planks and sell them. And then I realize after I've got like deforest a region and have like all these planks that when I do my trade, it doesn't actually take that many. And I was like, well, that was a waste of energy. I could have been farming something else. Restart the level. So it's really cute. They've had like early access and all that kind of stuff, and it has major updates to the graphics and everything. Super cute look and feel. Not that expensive either. I bought it, and of course it has an introductory offer right now. It's 25% off, so it's like $33, almost $34 Canadian. Mostly positive reviews. All reviews very positive. Recent views mostly positive. Like I said, I've barely gotten into building any monuments or stuff. Like there's a whole system where like, you know, building up churches and building up castles and building up all this kind of stuff. And like, I'm still this tiny little hamlet that I just keep rebooting because I'm learning how the system works. But what I like in a lot of city builders, like the fact that this is gridless, and the way that they kind of mitigate that is that like you lay down buildings and then the people with their paths make the roads and kind of dictate what the roads are going to be. So, and they grow over time. So like say you lay down you start your land, it's all grass, green fields, all that kind of thing. You lay down what was like your town like center, and then you start building, I build my first logging camp over on the side. There's like, it's still green. And then over time, the path gets drawn in by the little guys going back and forth, back and forth, right? So I think that's really cool. And then similar to now obviously a lot of games like SimCity and City Skylines are grid-based, but like how you kind of like plot out the land and then the houses kind of build as they see fit. Now, I haven't figured out if there's a way that I can kind of like control how big they get or whatever, but like the houses kind of build and look more like organic in that sense and how they appear and grow based on the space. Because you don't grid it out. You paint an area where you're saying, okay, in this space, you can do housing. And you paint a piece of the forest and say, you can cut down trees here. If there's another area where you don't want to cut down trees, but you see that there are like boars to go and hunt, you can paint where you want them to hunt. And then maybe and don't touch that area, because if you deforest it, then they're going to go away, right? So like it's really interesting to kind of see how that pans out and plays out. And there's a big mechanic too around decorating the city to try and, build up morale for your city folk and things like that. And then usual things like taxes and all that kind of stuff that you play into when you're doing like a city builder game. But it's super cute and I'm liking it. And it's a nice change of pace from Infinity Nikki. So yeah, and as I get ready, because I do really want to play Avowed once that pops off, and that'll be a good palate cleanser until 2 Point Museum comes out early March. Because that's just around the corner.
This looks really cool. I was thinking to myself, I don't know what you mean by what would you say? Yeah, gridless. But I was watching like a video of it, and the people it's so cute. They're so cute. Would you say that they do the most efficient routing? Like, does the AI know to do?
It seems that way.
Okay.
I mean, like it'll go the straightest path too. But if you build up stuff and there's things in the way, then that'll cause problems, right?
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, you got to be careful about that. And I have had instances where I built things, then all of a sudden it gives me a warning being like, villager's path blocked, right? And then I had to go and destroy a building and put it back. Put something else back in a better shape. Yeah. So I'm still like 7 hours into a game like this. I'm still learning the mechanics of early game, let alone like I've barely gone down the skill tree. So, and it's a lot of money focused too. Like you really have to think about how you spend your money, because you could easily run out really quick. Because then you only have like a small village of people. You can't tax them up the wazoo or they're going to be pissed off, right? So
you can.
Yeah, it's a good way to fail. So leave your city, and then you're like, now I have a ghost town.
Wow, you should be in politics, Leah.
Yeah.
What? So yeah, it's fun. I love these types of games. They're totally my jam.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, dang. I just closed the document I was going to open so that we can talk about the game of the week. So I was mentioning this in our chat today. And maybe someone listening to this might have an idea. I feel like we need a cool segment name now that we've kind of not sunset walk down memory card lane, but it's like in the rotation of podcast games. But having a podcast about video games and then talking about the game within the podcast about the video games gets really clunky to explain. So I feel like we need like a segment name on this and like maybe a jingle or something, some imaging. So if anybody out there has any ideas, DM me on Twitter, message in the Discord chat. Cause yeah, I'm open to ideas. Cause it would be cool to have something like this. Cause it's sticking around, this part of the segment. I love this part of the podcast, especially now since I'm not the only one coming up with the ideas.
Yeah.
All right. So today, Catherine brings Super Steam Review. Take it away, Kat.
Yes. So I find unhinged or cryptic or funny reviews on Steam, and you have to figure out which game is being reviewed.
Okie dokie.
And today I got two because they're pretty short.
Okay.
But if you've got the context, you'll figure out which one. So our first one is being reviewed by Bar. B-A-R, very straightforward username. And their review is, with great graphics come great system requirements.
Spider-Man 2, PC.
Yeah.
That poor game can't catch a break. That's very of have the moment. It's actually funny because Joelle talking about doing Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered on PC, right?
No, it's a PS5.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of the games that got re-released on PlayStation, from PlayStation to PC, have a lot of hiccups in the beginning. And I've already gotten a few emails about here are the notes on the update to try and fix the issues that Spider-Man 2 was having, which, Catherine, thank God you got your PlayStation 5. You can just play it on PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah.
So good.
Optimization is a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the second one is a collection of reviews.
Okay.
So this game was recommended, positively reviewed. There's just a lot of reviewers saying that they are thanking Butters for the recommendation. Butters from South Park.
Oh, I thought maybe you were talking about the streamer.
It's not like Stick of Truth or something, is it?
No.
Fractured Butthole?
It's from the episode where they play World of Warcraft.
Is it World of Warcraft?
No. The quotes go, Butters says, I don't play World of Warcraft. Butters, you said you're on your computer all the time. Yeah, but I'm playing game name.
Oh my God.
Fortnite?
No, think about it. When that episode came out, Fortnite didn't exist.
I don't know. I didn't watch that.
It's about a game that came out recently, though.
Oh.
Really?
It's one of those Simpsons, South Park predict the future thing. Or
Shit.
it was put into the universe and the people just went, yes.
How
thank you."
recent?
Would that give it away too much?
Oh.
It came out this month, I think.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but like
Whoa.
it came out recently, Christmas-ish, I guess.
Oh.
Black Ops.
I guess if you don't know the think about Butters as a character, what kind of bullshit does he play?
Oh my gosh. You're really reaching
Oh my
on
God, I can't tell you last time I watched a South Park show. I remember that episode.
Yeah, the episode where they all get like
Ridiculously overweight in the basement, eating stuff, playing video games.
because they're trying to beat the guy who does. How do you beat something that doesn't have a life?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're playing the guy from World of Warcraft. Yes, and then Butters is like, "Yeah, but I'm playing."
Link.
Once again, people are yelling at us.
Most likely.
Ha!
Definitely.
You're with it now, Leah. Usually,
I'm
you're on the
actually
other
surprised
side.
when we mentioned this game was coming out and people were picking it for the, that quote didn't just like pop out of me. I had completely forgotten about that quote until I started looking at the Steam reviews and I was like, holy shit.
But it came out recently.
Yes.
What just came out?
Warhammer?
Joelle, it's been a year in a month.
I know, that's why I'm like, wait a minute. What came out?
What?
Wasn't on my radar, so I'm just like, oh no.
People just got like...
It came out, it
Points for
actually came
games.
out last week, 30th of January.
It came out last week.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I kind of want to scroll up and see what people got points for in the fantasy critic, but I'm not doing it because I'm not a cheater.
I mean, it's a game on an island
That helps no one.
On an
with
island.
cute animals.
Oh my God! It's Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Butters played the Hello Kitty game.
I don't play World of Warcraft. Butters, you said you're on your computer all the time. Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
No way.
You're kidding.
Wow.
No, I am not kidding.
They started developing that game as soon as this episode came out.
What?
It's
So
wild.
that game's been out on iOS for a while.
I
It came out
will.
in 2024, and then it just came to Switch on the 31st, same day as Foundation, I think.
It was on mobile for a while,
Yeah, that's it. It was on
Yeah.
mobile
but it
for
was
quite a
not
while.
on mobile when that episode aired.
No, like that was
Because-
forever ago.
Because I found, I found the clip on YouTube, and the uploader uploaded it in 2016.
I would say
That
it's
makes sense.
episode, season 10, episode 8. So season 10 of South Park.
We're like on season, like, what, 25, 30, something like that.
Now I've got the South Park
I don't know,
theme song stuck in my head.
Season 10 came out in 2006.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Back when I was in school.
Wow.
But he says that word for word. I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So
Who would have thought?
Wow.
Do you think they knew that when they decided to name the game?
On Reddit, a year ago, I am looking because Reddit will tell me the truth.
Reddit is the Bible.
It sure is. I don't think so. I think the consensus is no.
That they didn't know?
That they did not know.
I think it's like something that they probably, because it's Sanrio characters, right? It was probably named in Japan, localized. How, like how popular is South Park in Japan? Probably not very.
Yeah, and they're going after like the Animal Crossing crowd,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
they're trying to go vibe and like island adventure. Like,
I think it's quite a funny coincidence. Maybe it was in the ether.
Yeah, like in their subconscious or something. Yeah.
Or when it came to like I don't know if the Japanese title is the same.
maybe
And if
not.
it's just like some translator,
Yeah.
just
Maybe.
absolute fucking legend, saw this game and was like, yeah, it's Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Like Butters wanted it.
Oh my god,
That is so
like
funny.
Butters.
I did not
Butters.
know.
Who knew that Butters was going to tell us our future?
Yeah, sorry. This one was a red herring, I'll be honest. Like
That's fine. I mean,
yeah.
what a factoid.
I was going to
Yes.
say, always learning,
No,
like-
not gonna lie though, because like, their TikTok, wonderful, glorious, the devil TikTok. I'm getting a lot of Jeopardy, and I don't know what it is about Jeopardy right now. I don't know if they're doing ones with like younger folks, but like the categories. I know the categories now, and a lot of them are video game related.
That's great.
And I was thinking about bringing them. Maybe I'll bring one next week where they're just like, what is this? What is this? What is this? And like.
let's see if we can
Obviously, we usually know them, right? But I can bring one kit next week if that's what we want to do for the game.
Well, one year Joelle did a Jeopardy thing for our holiday episode.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's weird seeing it in actual Jeopardy. Like this is video of like Ken Jennings hosting Jeopardy, and it's video game characters or anime or something, and I'm just like, holy crap!
It's
But
starting.
that would be
It's starting.
it would be a fun game to see how we measure against those Jeopardy
All right,
contestants.
I'll bring it up.
Oh, okay. That's a good.
Yeah, I'll bring it next week because I
Okay.
think I've saved a few of them now because I was just
Okay.
like, this is hilarious. All right,
Okay, because
note to
anyway,
self in podcast.
I just want to
lane
shout
right
out
now.
Made Bun on Steam, who actually posted the quote. I don't play World of Warcraft. Butters, you said you're on computer all the time. Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Adventure. This is the screenshot I kept, but like a lot of the reviews are positive for this game, recommended. They're like, I love this game. Butters was right. Shout out Butters for the recommendation. Butters is our new Steam curators. There's so many of them. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, it's from the World of Warcraft episode. And then Made Bun with a little heart emoji and their username had pasted the quotes. And I was like, there it is.
So funny.
doing God's work.
Oh,
Such
it won a lot of awards.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's apparently like considering it's a mobile game, there's like no microtransactions in it. Like I was watching some videos on it and I was like, do I buy it on Switch? Do I just play it on my phone? I don't know. And then Foundation popped up and I was like, I'm playing a city builder. Come on now. Yeah. So yeah, I've been definitely interested, have watched some videos on it. May sample. It could be a good vacation game.
I think that sounds
down
yeah.
in Mexico.
Yeah.
That could be a good vacation day.
We could all be playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Poolside
Co
with margaritas.
Oh, boy.
toasting to Butters.
Toasting the butters.
That's something I never thought I would ever do in my life.
Yeah, there we go.
It's unprecedented times. So
Definitely.
They just keep going.
yeah.
Ladies, considering the stress we're all under, the existential dread, this topic of the show this week is very of the moment. Talking about cozy games. Because, that's not like we do what we do all the time anyway, but here we go. We're going to do it after this break. And we're back, and even though it's only the beginning of the year and it's already pure chaos, it's only appropriate that we talk about cozy games. And I know this is often the topic of choice for us because we love cozy games. But Kat, you brought this article to our attention that just takes it on another angle, not just for the content within the article, but also how the article is constructed online. Bring us through it.
Yes. So this is by Reuters, Reuters.com, and it's called Cozy Comfort. And its new research backs up what gamers have thought for years. Video games can be an antidote to stress and anxiety. And I will have the link in the show notes on girlsongames.ca, or if you've seen it past on social media. Definitely go see the article. And if you can, on a tablet or on your computer, because they built this article like a cozy life sim game.
Really cool.
The graphics are like isometric pixels with you have a little cute character that you can name, pick the color, give him some outfits and stuff. And as they explore, as they explain several aspects of cozy games, you will have a little interactive, all web-based, where you will basically play a small cozy game as you read the article. So, the first thing you see is Welcome to Reutersville. Through the story, you'll explore a quaint town and its quirky villagers as you learn what makes a cozy game feel so well. Cozy. So you leave your little house. You have a little radish. And as you scroll, the little radish comes down and you can pick a color. I'm going to pick yellow, of course. I'm going to name it Cat. Give it a toque, because it's cold here. A toque, a scarf, some boots, and some mittens. And essentially, the article goes on to say how the gaming industry is larger than film and music industry combined globally. And the subgenre of cozy games exploded. I would say in the mainstream it exploded recently-ish, since 2015, 2016, when Stardew Valley kind of brought back this style back. But it's been around since Stardew Valley is based on Harvest Moon, and Harvest Moon was 96. But it kind of made a comeback, almost as an antithesis to how competitive games have become. It was almost we needed an ebb to the flow. We needed something different. So a cozy community, they talk about how cozy games are all about community inside the game and out. There's a quote from Joshua Labelle, creative director of Disney Dreamlight Valley. He says, one of the core fantasies of a cozy game is getting to live in a community where maybe there is friction sometimes, but ultimately everybody kind of pulls together and holds together. And then in the next part, to show you community, you go through a little town and you talk to some of its town people and they will give you gifts. I just accepted a nice painting and I got a little plant from a friend. Somebody saying, hey, you want a blanket to keep you warm? I'm like, of course I need a blanket, because this is a little wintry village, of course. And then I can get a rug to keep my Tootsie warms. In the next part, they'll talk about the phenomenon that was Nintendo's Animal Crossing, who came out in March 2020, March 20th, 2020, in the height of the COVID pandemic and, social isolation. And a lot of people found solace and community through Animal Crossing. And if it's not just because the game was cozy and gave you a sense of like things will get better or things can be good, but it's also like there's online properties, right? So you can visit your friends, but you could visit their islands, exchange that way. Maybe hop on a Discord call and hop around and share islands, share resources. And then the next section, E is for everyone. In cozy games, it's virtually impossible to lose. Fights are easy to win if there are fights at all. And then you have a little mini game where you got to help tidy up the forest.
I'm doing it now.
Make sure people can go through. And then, oh no, a bear blocks your way. Sing it to sleep so you can go.
So clever.
Yes. So the point of cozy games, and a lot of why people kind of like started to look at them as possibly something in a scientific matter, as something that can be prescribed for people that need mindfulness and stress relief, is the game focus on they focus on offering a feeling of comfort, and they don't require extreme skill. So low barrier to entry, which is very important. Low barrier for entry can mean many things. It can mean the hardware on it required to play it. It can be the game mechanics, learn new mechanics, things like that. Accessibility features. It's a lot of that. And of course, that market is much more friendlier to diverse gamers. So that's where you'll find a lot of women, non-binary people, queer people, people of color in these types of groups, because they tend to be chiller and more welcoming compared to the competitive environments where people tend to be antagonizing. The next part talks about games as a self-care, time to garden. So now you come to the community garden, and a little friend will give you some seeds, and then you can plant them, and you can grow some plants. Like I'm growing a sunflower, a cat plant that goes meow.
Yeah, I got the cat cactus too.
And then just a bunch. I'm not sure. Some of these look real. Some of these look made up. They're all amazing.
I think you can pick all of them if you really wanted to, but I only picked 2, so I got sunflowers and cat cacti.
Yeah, I didn't grab the last one, so I got.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so I got 2 of the same one, but then you can snap a photo of your garden. It's really well made.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the garden photo looks like. I'm going to go look at that in my downloads now.
Yeah. So then, in this part, basically, where they say like games as a self-care. This is where some of the science starts to pull through from this Reuters article. You know, in 2019, that's when they were like the gaming disorder was added to a classification of disease. It's characterizing by impaired control over gaming, increased priority given to gaming over the other activities to the extent that gaming takes a precedence over interest in daily activities. I think when that came out, we discussed it at large.
We did.
It was like,
Yes.
Is gaming the source or is it a symptom? Just like most addictions, like, is it the substance the problem, or what drove you to substance abuse? You know. So shout out to Hiroyuki Egami, an assistant professor at Nihon University, who took a look more closely at the correlation and potential causation between video game and negative effects such as aggression and depression. Egami found that many of the studies that suggested a link were inconclusive about causation. So the cause was inconclusive. So last year, Egami published a study addressing the causal effect of video gaming on mental well-being in Japan in 2020 and 2022. And the study found that owning a game console and increased gameplay reduced psychological distress and improved life satisfaction amongst participants. It found that spending just 1 extra hour each day playing video games was associated with an increase in mental health and life satisfaction. So we have other studies that also had a shift in perception. So we have Michael Wong, an assistant professor, this is going to be a mouthful, in the Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Neuroscience at McMaster University and former professor at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. He says, as more research has emerged related to video games, we're beginning to recognize that they can actually offer a lot of benefits. Wong surveyed 80 undergraduate students at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse to uncover whether mindfulness meditation or casual gaming, so, like these casual games, these cozy games, was better at reducing stress. And the study published in 2021 measured the effectiveness of playing casual games like Flower, the game fight, that game company, against a 20-minute mindfulness meditation session in reducing stress. To our surprise, there really wasn't a difference between the two forms of intervention. For blood pressure and heart rate, there was no statistically significant difference between playing a video game and engaging in meditation, Wong said. So, and now there's a research in 2022 by Aaron Suja, an assistant professor at Rey Juan Carlos University, that video games are being investigated as an innovative method to manage ADHD.
Huh.
So, this is fun. So, more than a game. Then the next part talks about how the themes in games can touch us and really validate some of our life experience. So they mentioned Spiritfarer, and how a Nicolas Guérin, creative director of the game, recalled a response that particularly moved him. A woman wrote in regarding her experience as a nurse in an end-of-life care facility. She told us, basically, I had given up hope on my own profession, and then I played the game, and it helped me process through what my own emotions were. And then she got back on the saddle and rekindled her own love for the job, and it felt like he was important, said Nicolas Guérin. So these games become, they become a sanctuary. They help us build community. They help us de-stress. But for some people, it's way more than that, especially games like Spiritfarer that touches on end of life, basically. So now you finish this article and you come back home and your home is a mess. So you pick up a broom and you clean out your room. And then you were given gifts. So I have a painting that I'm going to put on a wall. I have my little blanket, a rug, a plant, some wood for my fire stove, a teddy bear, and then you have your little house is all ready. And that was the article. And the sources for a lot of this was a thesis by Leonardo Trujillo of Utrecht University, which is called Cozy Games for Mood Repair, Stress Reduction, and Well-Being. Wow. As well as all the sources we've named from the articles.
What I am super appreciative with this is that the hardest thing for me to explain often to a lot of people, like you said, is what a cozy game is and why you play it. And also we get sent reams of studies and all these kinds of things all the time about violence in games and medical studies and all this kind of stuff, right? And I'm often hesitant to bring them to the podcast because sometimes I get the wool pulled over my eyes or it's just rehashing the same idea. This is honestly the first time that it's been illustrated in a way and using the tools to give it just enough gamification to it to be able to explain to somebody who doesn't get it, doesn't play games like we do, has never played a farming sim or one of those cozy games or anything like that, right? And walk you through it. It is so well done. And I don't know if we could have done this before HTML5. Maybe in Flash we could have.
In Flash, definitely. I built Flash websites, so yeah.
But Yeah, the technology for in how this works, I'm curious to see how it works in mobile.
I haven't tested.
Oh, that's a good
honestly.
point. That's a good point.
But the fact that you can just like scroll through and experience it all, refresh and do it all again, like what a cool way to
Really cool.
show it off. And like it has all the tropes of cozy games, like between the farming and the cleaning and the character creation, and even the idea that you're a radish. Like I played that great story game,
Concord, something like that. Or
where
Tales.
you
No, not
I think
Concord.
your character's name was Concord.
Yes.
Yeah. And like you play some of these games where it's like you meet that bear and there's no combat, right? And you have to find some other solution to be able to quell it, to move on to the next world, everything. Like it has all the tropes at a really basic level that just make it easy to understand. And hey, I applause to them. I can't believe they were able to do this as a thesis. That's wild.
I'm testing on mobile and it works.
Yeah.
You just
does
have to
work.
keep. Yeah, you just have to keep going up.
You just keep scrolling with your.
Yeah, you see less of the scene, like because like as I scroll, like the little radish person has always been in the center of the screen, and you see a lot out there. But because it's based on scrolling, you only do what the radish does as you scroll. You can't go off map and talk to like there was radishes in the corner that were building a snowman. We couldn't go talk to them, and like when I'm on mobile, I just don't see them. So, so I think it was designed that way that if you're mostly vertical, you're going to see all the action, and then if you're on a wider screen, that you get to see a bit more of what's happening around.
Yeah, I'm squishing my screen and turning it into collapsing it for responsiveness.
It's
and
so
yeah,
cool.
it still looks really good.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Kat, how did you discover this?
Somebody shared it on Discord.
Our Discord or in one of your video game community?
No, it's
community
either
ones?
it's either the Ubisoft one or the We Can Fix It in UI one. Or it might have been my friend's Raj has a server with a few game dev, and it might have been that one. But I don't think it's ours. No,
It's so pretty.
it's.
Now I'm clicking on all the fruits because I want to see what they all grow into.
I wouldn't be surprised if it were either the We Can Fix It in UI or the Ubisoft one, because those are the kind of topics that get circulated
Yeah.
in those Discord, and they're like, besides the Girls on Games Discord, I'm mostly just active in those two, an extra 2 or 3 Discord anyway, so it can't be. But yeah, I saw it last week and I put it in our podcast chat being like, yo, I'm bringing this to the podcast next week because this is
So cool.
yeah. And then at the end, by the way, there's a literal, like, your little radish set in a movie theater, and there's credits because it took a team to build that thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So shout out to Rooters, because honestly, like, I agree with you, Leah. This is not just about the content, but it's like that they brought the cozy game to the article for you to experience what it can do and what it is and the tropes and like maybe somebody sees this and they're like, maybe I do, like, they hate video games because all they know is like Fortnite and Call of Duty. And then they see this and like, I would love to be a little radish in a wintry town, singing a wolf, singing a bear to sleep so that we could pick up firewood.
Yeah.
And then it's like, here's like 10 games I can recommend to you that you can play on your very basic computer or on your iPad or on your mobile, or you can go get a Switch or a secondhand PlayStation or Xbox Series S, and we can get you rolling. Like, honestly.
It brings me back to art school with the concept of the medium is the message. To bring back our art school kind of tropes and things, and thinking about like, how you deliver the message is almost as important, if not more important, than the message itself.
Yep.
To be able to get your point across.
We'll have
Marshall McLuhan. Is that who said that?
I think so.
That brings me back. I'm pretty sure he's Canadian too.
Yeah. But for those who are interested, we'll have the link in the show notes on girlsongames.ca, or you can go to reuters.com/graphics/video-games/mental-health, and it should show up.
Yep. The medium is a message, an inventory of effects by Marshall McLuhan. That book was published by Bantam Books in 1967. It became a bestseller with a cult following.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where he talks about those, like, the different forms, print, visual, musical, determines the meaning that a form of a message, print, visual, musical, etc., determines the ways in which that message will be perceived. There you go. Cool. Well, that's an excellent way to close out the episode for this week. As always, check out the show notes on girlsongames.ca for links to the story mentioned in this episode to experience that really, really fun interactive study. I wish they were all that way instead of just pieces of paper. At least sometimes we get them with illustrations.
Yeah, I like the pictures. The pictures and the colors. Those are great.
I like the pictures and the colors.
Yeah, that's great.
If you are consuming this podcast on a podcasting platform that has reviews and ratings, it'd be much appreciated if you could give us one. Why? It helps with discovery, pushes us up in the algorithms, and hopefully if there's a spot where you can put in comments, we'll go check that out, and it helps us build our show. So thank you very much for doing that. This is also the moment where I ask the crew to shout out their social media handles so you can follow them anywhere and everywhere online. Catherine, where can people find you?
I am CSDSBINS on Blue Sky, X, Thread, Instagram. But I'm trying to get rid of my social media addiction, so hit me up in the Girls on Games Discord.
How's that going?
The not being addicted to social media?
Yeah.
So far, every time if I open the app and I see Trump's face, I close it. And so far, it's been a 10 out of 10 efficient way. Just as soon as I see...
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Okay.
As soon as I see Trump or Elon Musk, I close the app. That's my current status. I've also taken to Instagram I just went on a mass follow of a bunch of people at work, trying to clear my timeline for less ads, less content I don't want, and just more updates about people. And it's sort of helping. Trying to mindfully interact with just the posts of people I know and not stopping to watch a reel that Instagram's like, you might be interested in. No, I'm not. Instagram, I am not. Yeah. I legit want to see the photo of my friends going to brunch.
Yep.
I do. So that's how it's going for me. But if not, I just keep to my 3 or 4 cozy little discords.
Nice. Joelle, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at JoelleLauren87, on Blue Sky at JoelleLauren, but always hanging out and chatting it up with the Girls on Games Discord. It's a great place to be. Come and say hi.
And I am Leah Jewer on most social media platforms, but of course you want to know everything there is to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at The Girls on Games on X and Facebook. Just Girls on Games, no dot in there, on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok. Discord.me/Girls on Games to continue this conversation more, though. That's where you can find us most of the time. But of course, if you ever need to know anything at all, you track it down at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Joelle. It's been another lovely week in video games, and I am off to build my little settlement. I love cozy games. All right, talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.